Hello everybody. Here we are with some forensic science in the basement. As you can see, I'm repping the Punisher. I own a Punisher apron, yes, I know. Um, I love to clean and I love the Punisher, so of course I've got a Punisher apron. And it's going to come in handy for some of the mess I'm going to make today. So I will get right to it. I just wanted to have a little face-to-face and not just jump right into what we were doing. I think I've got a good setup and I can show you actually both parts of this in just one short video. But also I've noticed that this is one of the bullets here for your objectives that I'm going to send is how do you collect, preserve, and record fingerprints. So I can show you all of that in this short little video. So what I'm going to do is just go around and try not to make you too sick and put the camera in a different spot and first show you how to fingerprint somebody. If you'll notice here, you won't see super detail, but you will see that fingerprints are supposed to be rectangular. Your fingerprint goes all the way to the side. If you think about it, your fingerprint is a rectangle. It's not an oval, not just that one print. Your fingerprint should be rectangular in shape. So I'm going to show you how to properly do this, as well as I've got a little substance. I'm going to oil up my fingers and put some fingerprints on there. I've got some dusting equipment and other pieces, and I'm going to show you how to lift the prints and record them. So hopefully I can get that all done in this one video pretty quickly. And so here we go. All right, I tried to set this up so that you can see and still hear me. Pardon if you get a little motion sickness, but this should work out pretty good. And you'll get to see all my Star Wars action figures and other Punisher guys in the process. Okay, so what we have here is the average fingerprint setup, where you have your name of the suspect, and then you have the left and right hands here. So I will show you how to do this in all of the steps. First thing is you want to have your fingerprints right on the edge of the table. Okay, you want to have them right on the edge. That's the easiest way to get your rectangle. So I've got these little print pads. So you do the exact same thing. You just start on the side, you roll across, and you get the side, and then back to make sure you're nice and inked. And so then the same thing. You start with the side, you roll all the way across, and you finish. That's a big print, but I'm still remembering how to do this myself, right? Then index finger, side, roll across, and stop. And then you can go back to make sure you get enough. Okay, so what I'll do here, right, is boom, boom. There we go. That came out better. The key is to not slide your fingers while you are doing this. You're just rolling it across, right? You just go and then roll it across, right? Normally, we would be doing a lab where you guys would have about 5 or 6 of these little half sheets of paper, and we would all be doing this together. Because technically, the way that this is done is actually another person does your fingerprints, where they actually like hold your hand and they go, nyeh. So like when you see in, you know, the police office, a scene in the TV show where they have a person physically doing that, they are they are doing that. Okay, so that was my right hand. So now I've got to do my left hand. So left thumb and across here. Left thumb, ink it up, and then across. Make that rectangle. Man, I need practice. Let's see, maybe this ink pad. Maybe it's the ink pad. Always blame the equipment, right? A good craftsman never blames his tools. Okay. And then get that rectangular shape. Right. This is my middle finger. Okay. Ring finger across. Ring finger across. Pinky finger across. Pinky finger across. Okay. So, as you can see, I'm not the best at this. Let me see if we can get you focused there. Okay, so a couple of these came out pretty good. Not bad for my first try in a while, but you can tell that some of these at the bottom here, which I'm trying to focus on, are loops mostly, right? I think I've got a whirl there on my left ring finger, but most of these guys are loops, as you can see. There's a loop going in the other direction. Anyways, that's how you do that part. Okay, now let me wipe the ink off my fingers, and then what I'm going to do is I washed this plastic thing nice and clean to try to get any other fingerprints off of there. And what I'm doing right now is I'm actually greasing up my fingertips. Like we said, latent fingerprints are formed when the oils of your fingertips, right, leave behind residue. Now, just to make sure we do a good job, because not to blame my equipment, but my dusting and stuff isn't police quality grade. So it does help to grease up your fingers a little bit to make sure that this works. So let me make sure that this guy is in the scene. We'll get our print pads and mouse pads out of the way. Okay, greasy fingers. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to take my fingers and I'm going to just touch them like so in one spot. Okay, so step one was place fingerprints. Oh, my hands are very greasy now. Okay, so how do we retrieve latent fingerprints? Well, look at that. Even in the light, you can kind of see them, right? So there they are. Right, the grease, like I said, really helps. So all you have to do is, and this is where this gets messy, is you have your brush. There is usually a little cup of extra brush solution, but these things have been used quite a bit, that we can get enough dust on there, right? blow off the excess, drop this guy back into the tube. Okay, and now you're wondering, but now what do we do? Well, of course, in the days of technology, fingerprints are taken. They probably are taking fingerprints of, if they were that visible from what I did with my greasy fingers, if they were that visible, they probably have fancy cameras that take pictures. They have probably cameras that would take pictures of this. If I was a forensic scientist without all the fancy equipment like some labs do, what I would do is take some good old packing tape, apply it to the prints themselves. Whoopsie. Oh boy. Draco would not have made a good forensic scientist, just so you know. Oh, I messed that one up. We'll disregard this side. Luckily, I had beginner's luck with the first try. So we'll go back to this side real quick so we can wrap this up. Now, of course, we got to have an evidence card. Okay, so what we have here, let me see if we can focus on that. Okay, so right here are the information about the prints, what we know as far as where they were found, who lifted them, right? Because we want to document every piece of evidence. So this would be the average fingerprint card that we would have. And then on the other side, it's just blank. So you would fill out the card. You would lift your prints. Just like so. And of course, hopefully you can get at least, I think, one good print out of that. You can tell probably that this is my left index finger, maybe. This should match up with my left index finger. It's a loop coming from the side. So you can kind of tell. This is a crude method that I'm showing you, but for just to give you the idea of the steps that you go through, right? You dust for the prints, you wipe off the excess, you lift with the tape, you fill out the information on the card, you put the prints stuck to the other side, right? And then you have all your suspects that you gathered your fingerprints from. They go in the computer database. This information gets photographed, goes into the computer database, and voila, we try to link suspects to the crime. So that was the basics of all of that. How to do prints of a person, how to lift prints from a surface, as well as how to get it on there and collect the information. And like I said, that's when the photographs come in, and the famous APHIS, as you may have heard on TV and I've mentioned in lecture, comes in, and they try to match those prints. And so that's how it works. I'm unfortunately doing this in the quick and dirty version just so that you can see it. But we do a whole period or two of this where I get cans out and you guys put your fingerprints on the cans and then you dust, and you guys are way better at this than I am. Plus, I'm rushing just to get you through the steps. So I hope that you enjoyed this video on how to do this. I know it's not the same as getting to do it yourselves. Maybe we'll regroup someday in class and like I said, get to have a little laborama where we'll play with this stuff all together. I miss you. Hope all is well, and enjoy your quarantine and be safe.